As the country marked the 50th anniversary of the emergency, the Chief Justice of India, in a speech, has spoken out against those who believe that one organ of the democracy is higher than the other. The Chief Justice very clearly saying, some people believe that Parliament is supreme, but I believe that it is the Constitution which is supreme, and all organs, whether it is judiciary, executive or Parliament, work under the Constitution. We're speaking to Senior Advocate and former High Court Chief Justice Siddharth Mridul on this. So we're seeing this kind of face-off between judiciary and executive. Recently, the Vice President had made a comment that Parliament is supreme, and Chief Justice now has made his comment. How do you see this entire situation?
I think the Chief Justice of India has stated the law, the position that obtains in law. See, you must understand the very expression "we the people" with which the preamble commences talks about the supremacy of the people. Power flows from the people. The government is the elected representatives of the people. And Constitution 101 is that there are three organs of state. They have separate functions, separate roles, and they have to function, carry out the will of the people, the collective will of the people, as embodied in the Constitution of India, through these three organs of state. And it is the aspirations of the people, the rights of the people, that are embodied in the Constitution, which are supreme. They are the ultimate source of power. So we are a government, we are a system where it is the rule of law and not the rule of men which is supreme.
So we've seen this kind of face-off happening over and over again in the last few years, right, particularly with the government and in a way the Parliament also criticizing the functioning and the work being done by the judiciary. The Chief Justice in his speech yesterday has also pointed out that it is not a power that is there with the judges, it is a duty cast by the Constitution. How do you see this face-off that is going on, particularly when we see repeated attacks on the judiciary?
Well, the fact remains that everybody is entitled to express themselves. And just criticism is something that the judiciary as an institution has always welcomed. Of course, any face-off, as you put it, has no place in an egalitarian society, in a democracy. And I do not see why any organ or state or a representative must insist that we are supreme. It's clear, it's the people who are supreme, which is why the expression is "we the people." It is the collective will of all of us, which has to be implemented, enforced by not just the legislature, but also by the executive and the judiciary.
But that is where the government, and particularly the statement that came from the Vice President, was that because the Parliament represents the collective will of the people, because the government is the elected representative, therefore the judiciary, which is unelected, must not try to prevail.
Well, that may be the view of the Honorable Vice President. But the fact remains that it's contrary to the principles that are enshrined in our Constitution. So it is not a subject which requires debate. It is a subject which has been set at rest by everything that is enshrined in the Constitution. It's a living document. It has to be interpreted, and it has been judicially interpreted. So if the Vice President is of the view that since they are elected representatives, which the Vice President is indirectly elected, that they embody the will of the people, that is not correct if you look at it from the perspective of what is stated in the Constitution.
If I may ask one more question on this, there has been quite a debate on judicial appointments, particularly in the last few years, where the government has said that the NJAC needs to come back, or something on that lines need to come back, because collegium system is not working. How do you see this debate?
Well, that's a debate which requires a lot of homework. And I think I have said so in the past. The collegium system isn't perfect, but possibly it is the best system that we have to appoint judges today. It has its drawbacks. It has been challenged as being opaque. There are also mutterings that there is a lot of what should I say favoritism in the appointment, and to an extent I may agree with that. And I do believe that the entire system of appointment of judges to the higher judiciary needs a revisit. It does need a revisit. Whether it should be the NJSC or the collegium, the jury's out on that. But I believe it has to be somewhere in between, because the judiciary and the judicial system could do without the allegations that are constantly leveled against every appointment and every action of the collegium for its own good, for its own insulation. The judiciary was not meant to be a political organ, and therefore any sign of any hint of politics within the judiciary, including within the collegium, is something that only lowers our esteem in the eyes of the general public. So therefore, I think some introspection is required even on the part of the judiciary.
Thank you very much for speaking to us on this issue, Mr.